Well, Poland, they've done absolutely nothing wrong in this Olympic cycle. They've just won and won and won. And you always just wonder, can they just keep it going for that extra step and become Olympic champions? But it's Germany on the far side. Hans Grun and René Bertram in the centre there. They were bronze medalists in that boat last year. And next to them in lane 2, the Ukraine. This was a quartet that finished 6th in the final in Munich. The United States are in lane number 3. Scott Galt, James Schroeder, Samuel Stitt and Matthew Hughes.
Scott Galt, interestingly, started sculling only. He'd been an oarsman of some repute, but he started sculling only in September last year.
And next to them in lane 4, Adam Korol, Michal Jelinski, Marek Kolbowicz and Konrad Wasilewski, the world champions in 2005, 2006 and 2007. They just want that Olympic gold. Trying to stop them, well, at least today, and they hope in the Olympic Games, will be Julien Bahane, Jonathan Kerfik, Cedric Berest and Jean-David Bernard for France, who were silver medalists a year ago. They're in 5, and lane 6 closest to you are Canada. Canada with James Dunway, Gabriel Bergen, Stefan van Notzenberg and Rob Weitemeyer.
Canada. Attention.
50 for Poland in the 2nd, 3rd, 4th and 5th strokes. So they got away very sharply and cleanly, as you would expect a crew that has trained together and raced together and won together quite so often. In contrast to them, in lane 3, the United States, an almost completely new crew, been together for less than 2 months, coached by Chris Korsanowski, and that has Jamie Schroeder, one of the great US ergometer kings, but not and tried to become a single sculler, but only did that part-time while rowing at Oxford University, and he's now in this quad. But the remarkable one is Scott Galt, as I already said, the stroke man who started sculling, i.e. holding one scull in each hand rather than one oar in both hands, as late as September 2007.
So early stages, France well to the fore, 2 from the bottom of your picture. Closest to you in lane number 6 is Canada. Now the 2 crews that came directly through to this final were indeed Poland and the United States. You can't ever read too much into times, but it was actually the United States who went through in a faster time. And it wasn't just the odd second, it was about 3.5 seconds faster.
And that's why Chris Korsanowski, who is himself Polish, obviously, and lived most of his recent life in the United States and coaching this United States crew, who used to be hail fellow, well met and most welcome in the Polish tent, is now excluded from it and not even given a cup of coffee when he calls to visit, because he's seen to be a bit of a threat with this crew. And the fact that it's not in touch at the moment shouldn't worry anybody, because they're there and thereabouts, and they can pick up some pace in the second half of this race. Germany looking quite slick on the far side. They're only 2 meters down on Poland. That's them: Kröger, Bertram, Gruner and Schreiber. Bertram and Gruner, as you say, bronze medal last year. Schreiber and Kröger, they've all been around for some time. Kröger's the newest of them. Gruner from Potsdam, relatively young also. But Germany have had scant results from this regatta, and they will be putting a lot of hope on this quadruple scull managing to pull in some sort of medal for them today.
Well, remember, if you go back to the World Championships last season, Hugh, the only gold medal that Germany at their own regatta World Championships took was actually in the one of the adaptive classes, one of the Paralympic classes, and that was a huge shock and surprise. But now you see the quality of the Poles here, this very experienced quartet with Adam Korol in the stroke seat.
Germany not so far behind them because of the angle of the boats. Poland controlled half a length up on the field, but at 1,000 meters we'll see just what that margin is. 0.94 of a second only on Germany. That's not a lot of comfort. 1.24 seconds on the United States, but in Schroeder and Stitt, the United States has a lot of power there, and in Korsanowski they've got a very canny coach, so you would expect this crew to be working to a very clever race plan, and he does know the poles backwards because he is one.
Yes, it would be some sweet revenge if he can find the tactic that, undoes the Polish supremacy.
I think he'd be the only person in the world who would be upset, because we all think this Polish crew is an exemplar crew and one we wish to do well. But
well, they've been the flagship. They've been the inspiration for just about everybody in the Polish squad. And I think, if I was being really honest about it, I would absolutely love to see them get this gold medal and complete the perfect sequence.
Indeed, and they, as the benchmark crew, it's a question of how far behind them you are. Sometimes as a crew in an event like the Skelton brothers in the pair, and it's a question of how far in front you are. You've got to beat them if you're going to win it. Poland, it's just how close you can get for silver and bronze up to now. But they are under challenge. Germany here at 38 strokes to the minute. Stroke there by Christian Schreiber. And can they do it?
Well, the United States also very much in this. And there you can see the bow of the Ukraine, but now you can see Poland coming under real pressure from the
United States,
USA, and that was a great third quarter from the Americans. Scott Gould, as you said, in the stroke seat. He might be new to the job, but the job is really being executed pretty well. And now, Hugh, we're going to see what the Poles are made of, because this is probably just about as serious a challenge as we've seen given to them in recent times.
39 strokes to the minute, but they're down on this crew. There's Schroeder in the 3 seat. That's second from your picture. Scott Gould takes a look across. He doesn't need to look very far because he's up on this crew at the moment. He's got tremendous power behind him. Look at Stitt, the one with the beard there. There's real ergometer power, which has been harnessed for the quadruple scull. Not an event the United States has been good at for years. They've never really had a good quad because they couldn't get the people to train long enough together. This has been put together fairly last minute, but they are sculling beautifully.
Inside the last 250 now, America just having a little look. Matthew Hughes has done a lot of vocal work in the bow there of that American quad, and he's still giving a lot of shouts. They're all getting involved now. Adam Corral looks worried. He does look worried, and he should be worried, because this Polish dominance is going to be pierced here by the Americans. Surely the Americans, they want it. They want it so badly, and they're going to get it here. And Gould, Schroeder, Stitt, Hughes, they take the Polish world champions by half a length, and just coming in France to take it away from the Germans and the Ukrainians. In fact, we'll get confirmation of that in a moment, but in fact it is France in third place. Just having a look at that, certainly I think France in third place, but that's a terrific piece of work by the Americans. And if, as you say, Hugh, they've literally come together in double quick time, it makes it all more of great credit.
One of the interesting things about quads, women's and men's, is that they are so even that you get very close races. China came through Great Britain and won their race by a length. The United States took half a length. That is a huge amount in this race. They're so close to top speed all the time that half a length is a massive margin to have taken. If you'd won by 2 or 3 feet or a couple of meters, we would have understood what was going on. Half a length taken in 500 meters, big time.
And Germany, in fact, coming through to take third, ahead of France and the Ukraine, with Canada in 6th place. But well, this is going to send anxiety right through this Polish quartet.
What's interesting is the Polish squad, they knew the pressure they were under. They knew from the opening round that the United States was going to be the form crew for them to beat. And when the crunch came, they couldn't actually do much about getting the rate up. Instead of jamming it in and getting it up to 48 and creeping back in front at whatever cost to dignity and style, they actually just carried on what they were already doing. They raised it from 39 to 40, 41, and the United States were the ones who stayed cool. Schroeder didn't grimace once in that last run in. He was just in control of himself and driving that boat along, and that's more than half a length.
Now have a look at the top of the picture here. You can see second. Now Germany are at the top of the picture and France at the bottom. Now it looked like France, but of course that's a television line. In fact, it's gone to Germany on the far side there, who take third place. Very, very close.
And do you know why? France were putting their blades in the water and they stopped